I'm good to go. Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm Fernando, and I'm filming this video today in hopes to inspire you as I share a little bit of my experience going onto the spiritual path and how my interpersonal relationships were before all this happened, what happened to them as I stepped onto the path, what's happening right now, and what I hope for my relationships moving forward. And I've been on the path for almost 2 years now, and now when I look back, I can have a laugh at what was going on, but I remember at the time it was kind of painful. So let me paint you the picture. I was never really much of a social person. I always had, like, a few friends, so to speak. Close friends, good friends, friends I used to go out with and drink. I was a heavy drinker in the past. I don't drink anymore. And it was funny because I liked my friendships. I liked my friends, and most of them were female friends. And I had a good time, But I was always growing up, I was very shy. School was very difficult for me, never really made sense. And as I started to have friends to go out with in the beginning of my adult life, I was having fun. I was drinking, I was socializing, and drinking helped a lot because I was very outgoing and extroverted, and I had a blast. But it was funny because I didn't really feel like I was in my body, grounded in my energy, if that makes sense. But I did not know that at the time. And then, years went by, the pandemic hit, I started to think about things in a different way. I discovered I had anxiety, and I had no idea. I didn't even understand anxiety. I thought it was something other people had, and I didn't. And so a lot of things started to shift. I stopped drinking, and some of the things I was working on and dedicating my time to started to crumble around me. Lots of things started to change, and then bam, I stepped onto the path by accident, right? If anything is an accident. It was the best thing that ever happened in my life, and I'm so grateful to be here walking this path for the rest of my life. It's such a blessing. And what happened was I started to discover all these interesting things about spirituality, metaphysics, mysticism, esotericism. It's all really, 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 really brilliant and amazing. And this is what this channel is about. This is what moves me, and I love it so much. And it's transforming my life in so many ways. And I wish this for everyone that walks the earth. Although I know not everyone is ready, and that's fine. It's perfectly fine, and all is well. Everything is where it's supposed to be. So what I realized was I was learning, I was reading, watching videos, I dove deep head first from the get-go. And then I started realizing, so I was working on my energy, right? Everything was changing. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. This is so amazing. And then I would like meet up like a friend here and there as this was happening. And I remember like the feeling I was getting when I was, seeing, these people. It's like the moment I got together with someone, even if it was for like a brief moment, which happened, it was like I was being sucked back into that anxious personality, interacting with another human being. And it was so uncomfortable. It's like, oh my gosh, suddenly it's like I shifted back to the previous person I had been, like basically all my life. And it felt uncomfortable. It was like I was being untrue to my new sense of self, to my new identity, if that makes sense. But I just couldn't help it. I was like powerless. And it felt so uncomfortable. I did continue to get together with people. And as I was learning and absorbing so much information, I would inevitably end up talking about like metaphysical concepts with these people I was getting together with. And I don't know how it happened, but like suddenly it's like I was talking about crazy concepts and it was becoming like awkward. Like when people say like, know your audience, like I did not know my audience. I was all over the place. It was bad. And I would come back home and then I would spend like 2 days like regurgitating and like processing and reprocessing all that had happened in my mind. And I was feeling like I could literally feel like, because I was, I was monitoring my vibration, right? Since I started, got on the path. So I could literally feel like, wow, this is a low vibration. But I couldn't get out of it too fast. So I'd spend like 2 days like feeling bad about the situation. And it was like a strong feeling. And I tried to apply. Ho'oponopono was something that helped to a certain extent. And I use it to this day. Like when something happens and it's like it messes with my vibration, the best thing I find I can do is just to keep, repeating the Ho'oponopono phrases, right? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So it's a brilliant tool. And but it was uncomfortable nonetheless. And after, a handful of experiences, I just decided to like stop seeing people. So my social life that was never really like a big one turned into one that's non-existent, But it was the best thing that I could have done, and so I just stopped seeing people, and that helped me and has helped me to like focus on what I need to focus and expand my awareness and like bring up these things, and like transmute and like in a grounded way. Today I feel much more comfortable. I feel much more in my frame. So the few times I do socialize, I'm feeling more grounded. I feel like my vibration is not so susceptible to the external influence. I think there's still room for improvement. Not that I think I'll get to a point where it's like totally done, because I think we continue to evolve as long as we're, I mean, eternally, right? Here on this plane and otherwise. And I also remember watching one of Aaron Doughty's videos. He's a very famous YouTuber. You probably know him. And he talks a lot about empaths and narcissists. And I was just watching a video one day, and he was talking about how when you're an empath, and now I identify as being an empath, is that as an empath, since you're like a child, you're moving your energy from your from your 3 root chakras all the way up to your third eye. So you're basically ungrounding yourself, right? Up to the third eye, so you can perceive how other people are feeling, so that you can behave accordingly, so that you can feel safe. I was like, oh my gosh, you just described my whole life. So like socializing for me, that's been it. That's always been it. But with like my friends, I would always like drink, so things would get like masked. And yeah, but that's been like my whole life, and it made so much sense. Oops. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Yeah. And yeah. So that helped me to understand what was going on, like in the backstage here in my body. So that was really helpful to learn. So I feel that today I'm much more grounded. So it's like I'm learning to hold my space, if that makes sense, when I'm around other people. So you might be going through something similar. I've always enjoyed alone time. I've always enjoyed my own company. So like isolating and being by myself was never like a bad thing in any way, shape, or form. I enjoy being alone. So, but if you're going through this, but you enjoy the company of other people, or maybe you don't love to be alone all the time, then know that it gets better, because I have felt this whole thing getting better. And the social thing for me was always this thing, right? But I'm progressing and moving forward, and I'm just being very kind and gentle to myself. And I think that's very important, because when we are going through tough times, or when we make mistakes, or when I don't know, we mess up in any way, we tend to be very harsh on ourselves, right? But if we're being harsh to ourselves, then how can we expect other people not to be harsh to ourselves, right? So we get to set the example for ourselves first. So loving ourselves, being kind to ourselves, I think this is so crucial. So that's the first thing. Be kind and gentle to yourself. Give yourself a hug. Look in the mirror and tell yourself, looking in your own eyes, I love you, Fernando. I really do. So that's amazing practice, an amazing practice that we all can do. Because we've been conditioned to hate ourselves in so many ways, right? So if you're going through something similar, I think that's a positive thing, because we get to just be with ourselves and give ourselves some time so we can die and be born again, if that makes sense, right? So yeah. And I had heard many times before all this like took place that when you change your main vibratory level, your dominant vibration, the universe will automatically remove things that are not in alignment with your dominant vibration, right? It's all this big cosmic matching game, right? It's very organized, right? It's energy, so like attracts like. So if you're vibrating here, you're bound to be connected to things that are also vibrating here. So when your life is here and then you change your dominant vibration, the things that were once a part of your life and made sense, they just fall away. And I could see this happening with my very eyes. So the people, excuse me guys, it's a beautiful sunny day today. I love the sun so much. So I could see that with my very own eyes. Like all the friends that I used to have that I don't hang out with anymore, those friendships, they do not make any sense to me anymore. It's very interesting. Maybe one friend, we drifted apart for many reasons, but we always loved each other. And this friendship, even though we hadn't been, getting together, even prior to my awakening, when I think about this person, it's like there's such light enveloping our relationship. So except for that very one, it's like none of the other ones make any sense these days. It's like, so like it's like you really shift, right? My partner of 8 to 9 years, like we were living together when I got onto the spiritual path. And about 5 months ago, I would say, he actually ended up moving to the beach. And it was very funny to see like the vibrations were gradually more and more distant. So I like, I was like, I was focusing on myself. I was like working on my spirituality. I didn't really do anything. I just literally saw things like, I just literally saw him move away. I didn't have to do one single thing. And when he left, I was like, wow, now I'm literally alone and by myself, and things got even better. And now I cannot really like think about living with him anymore. Like I'm in such a good place right now, but it's so funny to see how the universe literally, like I look back now and it's like I didn't lift a finger at all. And it was so peaceful, it was so like easy. We are guided. We are divinely guided. So when we get out of our own way, oh boy, things happen. Things happen, and this is like, I'm living this right now, And I used to be such a complicator. I used to make everything so hard in my life. And now it's like I just allow myself to go with the flow. I know that I am worthy of so much, and so are you. You are love, you are light, you are the infinite being. You are divine spirit in human form right now. You know, so when our minds is like trying to run the show and see what's best, like our mind, it doesn't really know it much, you know. The higher you, the bigger, but greater you knows so much. And so let us all know and remember that things are so much simpler, and that if you feel like you need to be alone right now, then just be alone with love, with kindness, with respect, you know. So there's so much. I look forward to so much in my life now, but not from a place of a conscious controlling mind. It's from a place of divine heart space, your soul, right? Whew. So I hope this story inspired you. I really love you so very much. You are worthy of anything you want. Yes, I love you so much. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you next time.